Hello, ladies. I don't know if I have any gentlemen in the chat yet, but I've got ladies here, and my double chin is on full display. I didn't make it to physical therapy because I wound up just doing a ton of work. So I hope everybody is doing well. Thankfully, I see you. Thankfully, I owe you like a phone call so we can get together and put you back on the calendar for that third session. So I need to talk to you about that. I'm sorry, it's been absolutely crazy. Ella finished up her final term at community college. We're getting her geared up for going away to school in August. So she'll be going away. I have my first little birdie that's gonna go away to residential school. I'll be okay. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But let's see what we have going on. I am seeing a bunch of things here. So yeah, exciting for you, not so exciting for me. I really enjoy the company of my children. I am not one of those parents that's like, go to school and become a person. I really enjoy hanging out with my kids. So this is going to be a rough one. So I want to remind everybody, and I'm going to say it in when we flip over at 3:05. I'm going to flip over and just change the availability to. Let me fix this. I'm going to change the availability to general population. Will be able to come on into the live at 3:05. I'll just have to take a couple minutes and make some changes and get everybody in here. Oh, Tani, my daughter is 20. Yeah, she's 20. She did 2 years of community college. I get to keep her home a little bit longer. But so we've got crazy news going on. We've got all kinds of crazy stuff. The Diddy trial is in full effect. I am going to be force feeding myself a lot of information from the Diddy trial tonight after I get back from the band parent meeting, which I am going to dedicate just an hour to. I'm not going to stay there for super, super long. I'm just going to stay there for a little while. So, so opening up the questions for you guys. And remember, you're members, so you get free questions. When we get to the open general audience, they have to do the $5 readings. But you guys, oh, Gregopedia is here. From the bathroom upstairs. We're going to have weather for the next few days. So there's my crazy husband upstairs. So Lori Daybell. What is that? What is the Lori Daybell? I don't know what that is. Oh, I just threw cards all over the place. So Gregopedia, did you want a reading? It's actually George Lucas's birthday. I was going to do a reading for George Lucas. We can do that. Let's see if George Lucas is ever going to take charge again of the Star Wars. Oh, that's terrible. Lori Daybell and Chad Daybell. Were they the hi Sally? Were they the couple, the Doomsday people? So George Lucas, real quick, giving in. No, he is not going to take over that Star Wars franchise ever again. Tony, I'll look them up in just a second. I will Google her, bring her up in just a second. I have a little bit of an awkward desk setup today. Let me move this up a little bit more. I was at my stand-up desk for a little while, and she's a Black widow, married 5 times. Oh, she sounds like a delight. So it does look like George Lucas, 7 of matches. He doesn't like what's going on, but he does have to kind of give it. Now, Jon Favreau, Greg, and you can respond in the comments here. I don't know how much creative input Jon Favreau has, if he's like 98.5% or if he's like 50%. Or whatever, but Jon Favreau has been doing a lot of work with the Star Wars franchise. Hey, Zeph! So, oh, Zeph, I was actually gonna. He has 4 billion reasons not to care. He does. I was gonna message you, Zeph. Zeph, you are not required to be here. I know sometimes people with a wrench, they feel like they're obligated to be there. Sometimes it's, a thing. I love you, Zeph. You're awesome. Everyone say, "Hell, Zeph." I'm like kind of stumbling over everything here. So I do think this 4 of buttons, Greg, that is the 4 billion reasons that George Lucas has to not care about the Star Wars franchise. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy. I think she was replaced. I think she, oh, thank you, Zeph. Thank you. I think Kathleen Kennedy was shown the doors. Kathleen Kennedy's still in charge. 9 of buttons. No. Overextended. Queen of buttons. They gave her money. They said, beat it, beat it, beat it. 7 of needles. She was out of her depth on that. She did too many wild things. I think we all know what that was. And then the page of needles. They kind of plugged her in there. Her and the gal that made Dylan Mulvaney, and I like Dylan Mulvaney. I'm just gonna say, like, I think Dylan Mulvaney was an interesting entertainer. Remains an entertainer, but I think that gal, the Bud Light gal, and Kathleen Kennedy should get together. So let's look at this true crime thing. Let me get my keyboard out. And who did we say? The Daybell. Murders. Oh, it's from Idaho. Valo Daybell, accused with her husband Chad Daybell, sentenced to life. Are these people? Tiny, let me roll on up. Yeah, her name is Valo. Oh, Lori Daybell. I don't know why it says Valo. That's weird. Maybe that's her original last name. I don't know. Da 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 da. Oh, these are the Doomsday people. So, Tani, what do you want to know? What do you want to know about these two? Are they convicted? Convicted, sentence, life without parole? Do you want to know if they did it? Let's see if they did it. Dark deck for this. Oh. All right. Good. I don't want to read on these terrible, terrible people. Terrible people. I do have a huge reading coming out on Katy Perry. Huge reading for Saturday. Super Read Saturday. You all members can get a look at it now. It is available in there. So, ooh, terrible people. Let's get away from them. Let me get back to here. And pull up some news. Apparently, President Trump's made a statement. Everyone's like real uncomfortable. I haven't been paying attention to the news. I've been kind of crazy. Let's go a little bit. Oh, she's going on trial again now for her niece's ex-partner. Oh, good Lord. All right, we'll talk about that later. RFK Jr. Let's talk about RFK Jr. RFK Jr. said that the Department of Health had something to do with crosstown traffic of certain types of individuals, if you know what I mean. Let's dig into that. Let's see what that's all about. Whoa, screens went dark just for a second. Mention Kennedy, and all of a sudden my screens go dark. Weird. Not weird. All right. What is Kennedy on about? 10 of Cups in reverse. First thing that came up. 9 of Cups. Wishes come true. Knight of Buttons. Emperor in reverse. Authority. 6 of Matches and King of Cups. So talking about, and I'll put this in the chat. Oh, for Pete's sake. So we are going to put this up here. And my screens went wonky, guys. Sorry about that. Screens went wonky. So 10 of Cups, showing dysfunction, showing unhappy foundations here. We've got that right off the bat. And 9 of Cups, well-protected wishes come true. They were trying to find this. This was something. Gotcha, Zeph. Gotcha on that one. Hang tight. Hang tight. Julianne, I love this deck too. Can I read on why we are going through so much toilet paper? Greg, it's because I bought the Kirkland brand, and I don't think that it is as dense as the Scott tissue that we used to use. They were out of Scott tissue. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for that question. So, and if you feel like you're replacing the roll a lot, then you are, because I'm replacing them too. So back to RFK Jr. So Knight of Buttons, he has actually cracked the code on the direction of where you're killing me, Greg.
You need the card for that.
Did you wash your hands?
Of course I did.
You broke Zephyr. So he's cracked the code on how this process was happening. Over here, there was an authority, ultimate authority, that was in charge. You broke Tony too. 6 of Matches. I don't know if he's going to get as far as he would like to, but King of Cups, compassionate situation. How are we going to find these kids? Greg, was it 2-ply? It is 2-ply, right?
It is, but I think it's extra quilted.
It's extra quilted.
It's a lot thicker, and I think everyone is, like an age addict coming out of rehab. They're going back to their old dose.
What?
They're using as much toilet paper as they used to use on the thinner paper, and they're using twice as much than they need.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
We're living a luxurious life over here.
Well, I don't know.
This channel is so top notch.
Maybe somebody needs like an arm length, and like an arm length of regular Scott tissue is not the same as the arm length of Kirkland. Kirkland is like twice as much toilet paper than you need.
Is that how you measure your toilet paper?
Well, the arm length? No, I just use that as
Okay.
a rough.
All right. Are we done?
I don't know. Are we? You kept asking me. I could talk all day about this.
Oh my God. So how are we gonna find these missing children? How are we gonna find them? Are we going to find them, and how are we going to find them? Queen of Needles. I think we're going to be
Hide them in the toilet paper because it won't last very long. Very easy to spot it.
seriously. I think we're going to be really disappointed trying to find these missing children. I think, I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to find a lot of them. There will be some that we recover, but not the lion's share. We're not going to find the lion's share. You want a little remote view on this, guys? I'll do a little remote view. Yeah, give me a sec, Zeph. Nosiness, nose blindness. It's right under our nose. It is right under our nose. Oof. See that? That's a tough one. Let's do a little remote view. Hide this, split screen. And just get this right here. All right, you ready, kids? We're going to do aware. And so I just watched a drone footage of Epstein Island. So I'm going to put that aside. Also, I'm seeing like jungle, lush leaves, like large plant life, rainforest. So I'm going to set all of that aside. We're not going to pay any attention to that. And my coming distractors are all, as always, Raven is always on my list for my distractors. These are things that are going to interrupt me doing the remote view. Flipping to the general live at 3:05, but I have an alarm set for that. So it's not a big deal.
Son just came home.
My son just came home. Son home. We're going to set that aside. Hi, Angus.
You went to the bathroom to use all the toilet paper.
So for our coordinates, we are going to use, Greg, throw a number at me, please. This is going to be the primary location.
42.
Don't use that number. Don't, because this is going to be an icky read.
It's the number first team.
Okay.
Would you rather it be 69? 342. Still 42. Sorry.
005. 342 005. And we are doing our ideogram. 1, 2, 3. Greg, do you want to monitor for me on this one?
Check 1. Check 2. Mike 2. Sibilance.
No. You just have to kind of steer me as I need to go.
I don't know how to do that.
So 1A, curve left. And that is water. 2A is large loop. Hello, darling. I'm on a live. You want to say hi to people?
No one's here.
What do you mean no one's here? No. You look over there. Doesn't read that properly.
Okay. It's raining really hard out there.
Okay. 3A is it's still part of that large loop. We've got water there. Actually, body of water. Sorry about that, guys. And we get to 4A, tight loop. tight loop. That is air. Space 5 is straight line. That absolutely is sandy. Sandy, straight line, and that's land. We're on an island, guys. It's on an island.
Go to Thailand.
I'm going to pull out from the planet once I get this done and then see if I land on a spot. Office, Epstein Island, jungle, plant life, rainforest. I'm getting less rainforesty. Distractors, Raven. Flipping to Jen audience. Okay, 305. We set all that aside, and we're going to continue with 6A. Wiggly line down to sharp point. Not sure what that is. 7A is the sharp point.
Staircase.
That is speed. Now, are you seeing a staircase underground?
I don't know. Because I thought this spiral, this wiggly line pointing down.
I'll give you that. We'll see if that works. 7 is speed, and then 8A. Guys, I don't know if you're gonna like this answer, because I do think that it's some kind of an incinerator.
The underground cave that the reptilians are at. And they're feeding them.
So, all right. So I do think that we have a particular island. It is not inhabited. I'm going to make some notes on this. Island not inhabited. So meaning there's no like structures for living on there. Yes, Sally, I did see that we're getting the inside. I saw the kitchen. I saw the kitchen with that weird picture of the baby in the sink. There's Picasso in the background actually too, which was kind of interesting. Tani, yeah, I could try and do that, but not in this session. I'm gonna really have to zero in on that. So not in this session. I won't have enough time. So the island is not inhabited, but there are like what do they call the blank works? Like when you're at university, there's a blank works there. I want to call it public works, but that's not what it is.
Public works would be like a road department.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like on college campuses, they have the blank works department that's on there. Blank works. What is it called? So, oh yeah, email me about it. Email me. I'm going to get another reminder for that in a minute. There's like
what do they do? What are you trying to explain?
It's just like a generator, or there's like mechanical kind of stuff. There's a building with mechanical stuff,
like a steam room, or
like a steam
room.
but most of it's underground, Greg. So you're right. I think the staircase that you kind of blurted out, I think you might have been tuning in to what I'm doing. Because I do feel like most of it's underground. I have no idea how they built this. That's the weird thing, is that this, I'm not seeing any egress or roadworks to it. It's almost like you kind of roll up on a rubber boat. It's very, very strange. I got it. Helicopter pad. There's a helicopter landing site, but it's not a pad. Not like a technical pad like we would see with like an X marks the spot and the circle around it where you land. These are, it's almost like the like military landing. It's not a landing strip. They're like landing like on sandy ground, like close to the beach. Like it's very what? Well, it's a good idea if you're trying to hide stuff, but they're landing like right there. But I do think helicopters bring people, and
You think it's like a volcano?
it's like a man-made volcano. That's kind of what it's like. There is a preserve.
Kind of a pit sort of thing?
There's a preserve of some kind of animal.
Oh.
Like a bird. There's like a bird preserve on there. It is 100% tropical, but it's not as hot as like Southeast Asia. Like Southeast Asia, like what do they say about it? It's like it's either hot, humid, and dry, and hot and humid, or hot, humid, and raining.
Are you sure it's tropical? Maybe it's just in the summertime it's nice. Because I'm thinking that sounds like Montauk Island.
No,
Because they have the bird preserve or the infectious disease.
no,
No?
no. It's tropical plants. I'm seeing
You're seeing like
it's
ferns and
yeah, and like the big
okay.
big. There's very colorful flowers. It's
So it's kind of like a Bermuda sort of ish.
possibly
It's that kind of climate, I'm saying, not actually Bermuda.
Yeah. So I want to come up from the island. So it like, let's talk like man-made volcano. All right, man-made volcano. Because that's really what it feels like. Let's draw a little. So I've got part of an island here. And then here, this is treed. It's not quite as pointy as this. Take some of that off.
For some reason, I'm thinking Christmas Island.
Okay. These are tropical trees. Very dense, very densely treed. This building, and I'm sorry, I know I'm going to pull off in a minute. This building has a color like this on it. This is concrete. There's a fan in here. That's a fan, but it's large. This is a pretty large, I would say like maybe 30 feet, no bigger than 30 feet. And like 15 feet high or so. No bigger. But there's, I can't figure out if the stripes go this way or this way. I think they go this way. There's like one stripe that's this tealy color.
What are you describing?
A building. The rest of it is like concrete gray. This building has a staircase a way down in it. Goes this way. There's I think like a door here or on the front. It's longer in one direction. And then there is a staircase down. Lower level, let's do this. We've got a little building here. This lower level staircase going all the way down is extremely deep. And I do think that this is a natural formation. I drew it as a square or with right angles, but I do think this is a natural formation. But it is kind of scooped out. It's kind of scooped out.
See any animals on the island?
No, I'm underground right now. Very cold. It is very cold down here, and damp. It is damp. I don't know which way to go. There's another exit on this right side. There's an exit here. This leads to outside of the mountain here. This exit leads to here. That leads to the water. And I do think that there was an old manner of dock here, but it wasn't a permanent dock that was had piers into the ground. It was almost like a floating dock that was like taken away and put back, taken away and put back on a very large boat. This is, you know, like a big ass boat, a big ass boat that came and went to build this structure. It is a doomsday structure. The original intent of this structure was as a doomsday area. It was what they're using it for now is not what it was intended for. It was intended. What is the mountain? They have a mountain with the in Colorado where they have all the seeds and the president goes there. What is that called?
No,
Is it NORAD?
what NORAD is in it? It's
Well, it doesn't matter. So this was a doomsday structure, and I think it was built late 50s.
Cheyenne Mountain.
What?
Cheyenne Mountain.
Cheyenne Mountain. Late 1950s, early 1960s. I do think that Kennedy knew about it. I think that JFK knew. JFK knew about this construction for presidential protection.
Catalina Island. Catalina Island has a lot of UFO sightings.
Mm-hmm.
It's right off the coast of
All right.
California.
Give me a sec. I don't think so. I think it's here. I think it's closer to the East Coast, like down in like the Bahamas or something like that, because the weather was what they were concerned about. So if the Colorado escape hatch for the president was going to be too cold and miserable there, and I hear, hi, your mortgage advisor. How are you, Yessie? So if the so I'm hearing JFK going, I don't want to be out in the cold. I'd rather be someplace nice and warm and toasty. It'd be like a vacation. Like he made jokes about it.
Maybe in Florida Keys.
That's what I'm thinking. And it's totally underground, so it's not an issue if we have hurricanes or anything like that. It's not really a problem. You know, Why I ought to go on vacation.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it was ever built. I think there was an intention to build more rooms off of the structure, but perhaps 1963 happened and they said, well, we're not going to do this anymore because that cheating bozo, sorry, my hair's in my face. Let me get it out of my face. That wife cheating bozo, Johnson was like, I don't care, stick me wherever you want. So I think construction was halted. Possibly because of the fascination. Possibly because I think JFK had actually asked for this to be another doomsday shelter. So how is it being used now? This this dock thing is not there. You're not going to be able to see that. And you do need that if you're going to be bringing equipment in there. So I'm just going to get on top of the building and go up. I'm going to put it out of my mind that it is on the East Coast near Bahamas, Bermuda, Jamaica, and the Florida Keys. Let me get on top of the building. I'm going to go up. It's off the tip of Florida. I'm off the tip of Florida.
It's the Keys. It's made mostly of limestone, which is easy to excavate.
Okay, thank you, Gregopedia. Gregopedia says made of limestone, easy to excavate.
Excavate.
You see if there's any bird sanctuaries?
Okay.
I don't know if it's a U.S. property. I mean, it would have to be if our government was building stuff on it, but I don't know if it is a U.S. property. It may be property that we purchased. We would have purchased this probably in like the 50s. I feel like it belonged to somebody else. It is not a large island. All right, so let's get back to current time while Greg is seeing if he can find
there's tons of bird sanctuaries.
Really? He said a ton. Possibly. Zeph, hi, Penny D. I am going to have to look at a map and focus on this a little bit further. But so let's see what they're doing. Only important people are brought in by helicopter here. Only important people.
Tortuga Island's off of Costa Rica. They're pretty isolated, not uninhabited, and they're bird sanctuaries.
Can you Greg says Tortuga. How do I spell that?
Tortuga. Tortuga.
Hey. It's in Haiti.
Haiti. Closer.
Oh. Get a map. Give me a map.
I'm looking at it.
But this is inhabited.
Is it?
Isn't it? I think that island is too big. I think it is too big.
Oh, wait a minute. Dry Tortuga Island is off of Key West.
Dry Tortuga Island?
National Park there. I know, that's a big giant port. It ain't gonna be. Oh. Like the only thing on it.
I think this island is closer to Cuba.
Well, did you see what the island looks like? There's a big, like, star fort fortification on it. And then the rest of it is just like a small island.
So I'm looking at a map, but I'll have to go and look at it after. Only important people come in the helicopter. Only VIPs in helicopter. Those rubber boats that I was talking about. Boats come in, big ships. Big ships go there. Rubber boats to the island. And it's a guys, I have a feeling that I can't see what's going to happen because I think it's really disturbing. I think it's really disturbing. This is a holding tank. And I know it does not seem very efficient, but it is a holding tank. It's empty. There's nothing in it. There's very little in it, I should say. That fan does operate, but it's not attached to anything. It operates just, I'm not sure how it operates. Let me try and do this again. There is, remember I said this is densely treed. There's no pathway up here. Why do we need this if we have this? I do think that there was an intention of having more space on this topside building, more space on it. I think intention was possibly like a bigger building with a helicopter pad. This was just like kind of the construction that they had. This is really the entranceway, this hidden entrance down by the water. That's actually our entranceway. That's where everyone comes in and out. And it's a very, oh, my ear is ringing. It's kind of like a big door that opens like what you would see on the hull of a ship. Like it kind of falls open. You could drive cars in and out, that kind of thing. It's a big door. It's a holding and processing area. I see people with like MRE packets, like they get like a little box lunch, and they get to hang out there for a while. You're going to hang out here for a while. I'm really blocked on this, guys. I don't want to see what's going to happen. All right. So I am clearly frightened of what I'm going to see. So I'm going to set aside that emotion and I'm going to view the situation without emotion. If it's too out of bounds for YouTube, I will not discuss it here. We'll discuss it another time. So I'm going to set all that aside and I'm going to see what we have there. So I'm going to tell you this. This is interesting. There have been Cuban refugees in there that were assisted by our government in years past, not in recent years, but Cuban refugees have been brought through there. I think this is a way of bringing individuals into the country. I don't think this is an end zone. I think this is a bringing in to the country through different ports of entry. But it is a controlled entry by certain elements of the government, and it's a controlled entry for the little people we were talking about before. It is a fall story. We're going to take them and get them in. This is why separating children from parents was such a call for the last administration, because they're the ones that were actually doing it. They were separating them. We'll take them. We'll get them in. It'll be easier. We'll give them lunch. They're going to be fine. Once they hit this place, they go into state of Florida. DeSantis, you got to get on this. They go into the state of Florida and they scatter from there. They are distributed. It's an importing location. They are bringing them in, feeding them, and then bringing them to Florida, importing them all over the place. I do think that they also have ports of call, if you will, in Alabama, Louisiana, and Texas. I think there are all ports of call there. They will separate them, scatter them, then they launch out to the rest of the country from there. There is a second location that they go to, which is in Colorado after springboarding out of these southern states. And it's a distribution center. It's a distribution center. That's what it is. This isn't, and I'm sorry guys, I've been doing my remote views backward lately. I've been going from the end to the beginning, and I'm trying to do it on the Kurt Cobain thing. I'm planning on doing that, so I've been practicing it. But this is a distribution center and these. I don't even think these individuals are in the head count right now. I don't think they're part of the head count. I think we're going to find out there's another vein of this. So, all right, I'm going to take a couple minutes. I need to run up to use more toilet paper. I'm just going to put on my intermission for a second, guys. All right. That was pretty heavy. Hold on. Rub-on tattoos. Pop tat. That's awesome. So that was some heavy stuff, guys. Sorry about that. I don't like to look at terrible things. Sometimes we see terrible things, but how is RFK Jr. going to do with this? How is he going to do with this? The Beyond. 2 of buttons. He is not going to make a lot of friends, but he's doing God's work. This is not what he thought he was going to be doing, guys. This is not what he thought he was going to be doing. He is going to be held back by a lot of the deep state. This is going to cause a lot of kerfuffle with all of the players in the deep state. We're going to see a dividing line of good and bad people. The Ep Island is going to be a part of this. I do think there's a reason why this may not be very far from Ep Island. I think they may be connected. Not exclusively connected, but I think somewhat connected. There is the temple building that's on Ep Island. The stripes on it has kind of a little bit of an homage to this other building. It's a more refined vision of it. That building does not sit well with me. The building, the temple building on Ep Island does not sit well with me. Terrible things have happened in there. Terrible things have happened in that building. This building, it almost feels like, and when I said it was a processing center, it feels like they kind of come in, they, give them a name, give them some food, and then ship them out. It's like they have to be taken on a different conveyance from that point. And the boats that I see coming in, while they are not small enough to go into the shallows, they are big enough that a number of rubber boats would go to the island itself. So it would be like 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of rubber boats. Like we're going to go in groups. And most of these kids do not speak English. They do not speak English. And they're little. They're really little. Really something else. So there's one particular little boy that I keep focusing in on, and I don't know if I want to know his whole story. But he, I think, does travel to Miami and then to Texas and then to Colorado. I think that's his pathway. I think I'm going to explore that later. I think I'm going to see if I can kind of follow the pathway of this child at a later time. So let me just make a note about him. And we'll call him Carlos. I don't know what else to call him. So I'm going to say Island, Doomsday, to Miami, through Texas. It's actually through Texas to, and I'm going to do Colorado in question mark. So that is going to be something I do soon. Put it on my list. not something I'm looking forward to. I don't know. So, all right, guys, we are going to open it up to the general population. Let me get in here. And oh, of course, I crashed and burned on that one. And let's do public. Publish. We are now public. Let me do a little refresh here. And we're officially public. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. All right, we'll just wait for some more peoples to come in. And we're going to share this. And open for general audience. Come on in. Whoop. You are the next contestant on The Price is Right. There we go. Hi, TT. Okay, we'll see you in a minute. Stephanie's rolling in. Hello, my dear, my dear, my dear. So good to see everybody. There we go. We are live. I'm going to be on for another hour. Well, I'll be on until 4. And then I got to go to physical therapy. So those of you that are just joining us, we just did a remote view on a very strange island that may or may not have been a stopping point for some crosstown traffic. A little bit of crosstown traffic. So there's my alarm. Flip it over. I'm doing everything right. Today was the first time that I did a link from my premiere to this video. It was pretty cool, to the live. It was pretty cool. Didn't realize that YouTube had that possibility. So Zephyr, your comment, those poor children never had a chance. Hi, Debs. Yeah, started doing the crosstown with them. Yeah, I think that's really it. So, Debs, it's good to see you. I hope your weather has settled down there. We have rain up here now. Poor Debbie. Every time it rains, she loses power and interwebs and all that crazy stuff. So, all right. When you are ready, people, questions on the table. Otherwise, I'm going to start picking some news. So apparently we lost another celebrity. 45-year-old actor died. I missed it. Fatal overdoses in the U.S. have fallen to pre-pandemic levels. That's a good sign. CNN halts broadcast for breaking news about Trump's wrong gift from Saudi Arabia. I don't know what that is. Robert De Niro slams Trump in Cannes honorary Palme d'Or speech. Not a shocker. Not a shocker. Oh, Zephyr had some snow. Yeah, that's right.
Snow.
Yes. Snow. Snig. Why a 3.5-inch difference in rail width is a $27 billion problem for NATO. Did Pakistan shoot down 5 jets, Indian jets?
What are you looking at?
I'm looking for questions. Oh, Conan O'Brien lost both parents within 3 days. That's awful.
Conan O'Brien?
Yeah. Let's see what's going on with Trump. Let's tap into Trump, guys. If you have personal questions, load them up. Load them up. All right. So, how is Trump going to do after this Middle Eastern kerfuffle? How are his enemies going to see him? Let's start there. The magician. They see him as a magician. 6 of Cups. There are going to be some that they can't deny he's getting the job done. There's some that are going to say that. Queen of Cups. I think that his enemies really are going to have a hard time being critical of him. Just saying. So because he's saying and doing all of the right things in order to dial the temperature down. Knight of Matches, once upon a time, they saw him as inflammatory and somewhat difficult. 8 of Cups here, they see him not backing down from the complicated structures that we have with our relationships with the Middle East and the relationships that are in the middle of the Middle East. So under here, Queen of Matches, at the core, they see him as not firing things up. Improvement of attitude from here. What we have, Knight of Matches. Those of you that are jumping into the chat now, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you'd like your own readings, pile them on. Put them in there because I'm flying by the seat of my pants here. You only have me till 4 o'clock. So that is exactly 51 minutes from now. Here, Queen of Cups, he looks like someone who is empathetic and balanced on both sides. Good to have the Magician and the Queen of Cups together. So, how are his fans going to see him? Trump fans, how are they going to see him? And I know, it's unbelievable. Trump's enemies liking him. 7 of Cups, Knight of Matches in reverse, Ace of Matches in reverse, Beyond at the bottom, Wheel of Fortune up top, and the 2 of Needles. So I do think that his fans are going to say, well, he's opening up a lot of possibilities, but he's not, he doesn't have a lot of backup on that. And I think this is, his fans are very careful. Trump fans are very careful about him having some meat on the bone and possibilities that are achievable. So those of you that work in corporate, you have your SMART goals. So I do think that, they're seeing things as a little bit unachievable. I don't know. He keeps surprising us around every corner. Ace of Matches here, they would like to see him with more fleshed out goals for the Middle East and his relationships with the Middle East. 2 of Needles, there is some question about the direction that he is going on. And the Beyond is neat. The Beyond is the 24th card in this deck. Now, this is the Madame Clara 5-cent tarot, and I have the 2nd edition. This is 78 plus 4 cards. That's what we have in this deck. Debbie, you saw Lionel too today, huh? So this Beyond is beyond transformation, going into the next level, leveling up the relationship with the Middle East. So this is the goal, to transcend the relationships that have already been there. I did a reading on Israel today that was attended during the premiere by just a few people. I know, Israel is a hot topic, and I do have a bias in that, in the Israel situation. But I did see that, it's very, very fired up. And everyone is, and Stephanie had said in the comments on that the Middle East was never calm. And I don't think it ever has been. But I think we can get to a place where it's a little bit calmer. I think they're going to work that way. So let's see. Debbie's got a great question on the table. Did he get the E-Guy treatment? So Lionel Nation, Debbie turned me on to Lionel Nation, which I love. He is very much like, who's the other guy that I like that yells? Where's my brain?
I don't know. You keep giving me attitude.
I keep giving you attitude?
Len something?
Mark Levin.
Levin.
I'm not giving you attitude.
No. You're getting me to do that too. You come out with something. I don't know.
So Lionel Nation, he's kind of like Mark Levin. He's a little different, but he's like Mark Levin. But he goes a little more conspiracy theory. So today he did a video where he thinks that Diddy might already not be there. Already may not be there. I got your question, Penny D. Mark Levin, the great one. Yes, the great one. I love Mark Levin because I love when he gets angry. And Greg sees me. I'm like, when he starts getting angry, he starts yelling. So will Diddy get the E-Guy treatments? Let's start with Lionel Nation's assertion that he's already gone. What do we got? We got the Beyond. I just talked about this card. It is the 24th card and 23rd, because remember the Fool is 0. Huh?
It'll be after the bed and the bath.
After the bed and the bath? Oh, Beyond. Didn't they close down? Oh no, that was, yeah, they did close down, didn't they?
They close down a lot of stores.
So Stephanie, can you send me a link to that video, please? fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. I would like to watch that. Hi, Deborah. Oh no. I hope everything's okay. So I think he's still here. I think we still have a Diddy. So Greg had an interesting perspective. He said, even though Diddy's on trial, he can say, no, it's Sean. Sean did all those things, or Love did all those things. He's gone by so many monikers that he could basically blame it on one of his other personalities. So the Beyond, is he going to get the EP treatment? Queen of Matches, they're holding back. Queen of Matches in reverse, 6 of Matches in reverse, Temperance in reverse. They can't do it yet. If they wanted to go in there and do it, they can't. There are too many safeguards put in place. The judge in this case does not want to see that happen. The judge wants this trial to go all the way to the end. He doesn't want any funny business.
But
Question.
Is he connected to Eyes Wide Shut or no?
Did he or the judge?
Diddy. Or the judge? Because I think that was a big reason why Big E was killed. Or, unalive. Treated like a Christmas ornament.
Wait, treated like a Christmas ornament?
I mean,
Thought you meant dropped on the floor. So is Diddy? So, okay, there's something called the Boulier. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. The Boulier, which is like the Chorny Illuminati. I said the I word.
the what?
Chorny, black.
Oh.
That Chorny's Russian. Here, the Russian school, chorny means black in Russian. So chorny chleb is ISP issues. You're buffering. It's because I said Illuminati, Zeph. So the boulier is the purported black Illuminati. So what? You can't say that. Don't say that. Get my channel popped.
The Ebonati.
The Ebonati?
Yes.
All right. So we just made up a word. All right. Ebonati. Mark it down. We made up a word. So is Diddy part of the Ebonati, which is actually part of the Pi Phi Delta fraternity? They all came part of the fraternity. So,
The Guild of Columbus.
yes, the Guild of Columbus Intent. So is Diddy part of the Ebonati? 10 of Cups in reverse. Queen of Buttons in reverse. They kicked him out. If he was touching it at all, pardon the pun, he is eyes wide open. And he is no longer a part of that. He is not, he's a persona non grata, if that's the case. And I do think that it's been for some time. I think that he did have some connection with this organization. Good Lord, I hope my channel does not get popped for this. I think he was part of the organization, but went a little too far into substances. I don't think that substance is, it's really hard to say with my retainer. Yeah, Zephyr, I think this has gone on for a while. He was,
I mean, there's a time where he controlled like all of hip hop.
there was a time when he controlled all of hip hop, and I think he was in fairly well then.
Yes.
That was when the substances started to
And I
increase.
think he went a little overboard, and then they were like, "No, we got to pull back."
Yeah, you got to dial this back. And he was like, I'm the king of the world. I'm not doing it. Cocky AF. And so he tried to actually start his own Ebonati.
Right. That's correct.
So, but you can't start a company with a bunch of substance addicts. Tell that to the South Park guys.
Not bad.
They're animals. But I think they're like good-natured substance
Well, no, they tried that once.
users.
They tried it once.
What?
They said they couldn't think of anything. And I was like, you know what? We'll smoke a little pot, do a bunch of acid, see what we come up with. And they came up with absolutely nothing. So the deadline was coming up. Shit, we got to do something. Well, why don't we just do a show on that? We tried to do a bunch of drugs to be creative, and nothing happened. Like, okay.
Okay, but they did go to the, what was it, the Oscars or Golden Globes when he wore the J-Lo dress. They went in dresses. They were tripping balls,
I think, oh yeah, they were. Yeah, he went.
which is
He went
hilarious.
to jail. I think she went at Matt Stone. I think was dressed up like was it
Anne
Meryl
Hathaway
Streep or something.
might have been Meryl Streep, but anyway. So how's Diddy feeling today? How is Diddy feeling today? Cassie Ventura testified today. I just felt trapped. There is something about her testimony today, and I'll have to go over it. There's a bunch of channels that are kind of breaking it down through the Twitter commentary from the press pool that's inside. There's something about her testimony today that he goes, aha. Now it shows that she was substance taker and not necessarily in a coerced situation. I'm trying to be really careful here. Under the surface, he's celebrating. Under the surface, he is celebrating. He is the goal, I think, of the prosecution, which I thought it was Mark Garagos himself, but it's actually his daughter that is defending Diddy, Mark Garagos's daughter, from Scott Peterson fame. And he was gushing on Megyn Kelly. A lot of people couldn't even watch the Megyn Kelly episode because he was just kind of gushing about how great his daughter was. It was like, ew. They wanted they wanted Cassie to admit to partying so that it would show that she was a part of the party scene. And Diddy thinks that they did that they accomplished that in her testimony today. Queen of Cups. It's not necessarily going to work. This Queen of Cups in reverse. It is not going to work. Eight of Needles, the World, Page of Needles. She is going to be testifying for the rest of the week. And they have the big bada boom coming at the end of her testimony. At the end of each victim's testimony, they are going to have a big bada boom at the end. And yes, I am quoting Leela. Big bada boom. Lilu. That was her name. I don't think he is going to get off free. I don't think so. I think the only way he gets off free is if the glove doesn't fit, you have to quit. Like if they do something foolish like that. But I think at the end of her testimony, they're letting kind of the ebb and flow throughout her testimony because they know that she did willingly take substances. They know that she did repeatedly say, okay, because she loved him, because she wanted to please Diddy, because she loved the life. I think that they're going to ebb and flow through the testimony of her and through the others that are testifying. The thing that's going to come out is that he never had any remorse for the way he treated her. So after that hotel cam, I do think the video footage that we are not going to be privy to see also reflects that he was, yeah, Stephanie, I know it's disgusting how they're going to blame her. They're already doing it. They're already trying. You can kind of hear it. The questions that are being asked are already trying to do it. So how much is her pregnancy swaying this jury? Remember, she's 8 months pregnant. Yeah, she's a different person from the party gal. They're trying to oh, you haven't seen it yet, Stephanie? It's rough. It's a rough video. Yeah, it's rough. It's awful. And when you know like what happened prior to it, what happened after, it's not a good video. The freak offs, the longest one was 4 days. 4 days. I said 4 days. I actually asked Greg what he thought the longest one was. And he goes, I don't know, 4 or 5 days. I go, seriously? 4 or 5 days? Like, that's a long time. That is a long time. 4 days ago. Like, I don't know what I was doing 4 days ago. But the victim blaming of Cassie is not going to work. It's not going to work. 10 of matches, they already have their mind made up about what she is. 2 of cups, she has a different life now. Hermit, she is a reformed person, whereas Diddy is not. How do they see him right now? I think by all accounts, he has been expressionless, which is a good idea. And he's wearing the Mr. Rogers sweater in there. I don't know what he's wearing today. How is the jury seeing him? Oh, a lot of shrugs. He's shrugging a lot. The Chariot, 2 of Needles, 7 of Needles. They're seeing him mainly in the main. They are seeing him as someone who was driven and determined to get what they wanted, to get the ideas of what they wanted, and not saying no. So let me see. Let's jump over here and we'll see. Will Syria play nice with Israel? If you have more questions about Diddy, go ahead. We got a half hour, guys. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Yeah, J-Lo seems like she's oiled up and sliding right out of this. Will Syria get along with Israel? We're not abandoning the Diddy content if you guys want to hear more. 5 of Cups. Tower in reverse, Ace of Buttons, 6 of Needles, Page of Buttons, the Unknown. We're still working on this. We are still working on this. Stephanie, I'm going to add J-Lo in here. Syria and Israel. And I said this in my earlier video about Israel. Israel really has their heels dug in. They really don't want to high outer limits. They really don't want to compromise their stance. They don't want to compromise it. They do want to have an easy peace, or at least an agreement. Like this feels more like a handshake agreement. I think there is going to be something that happens that disrupts this relationship between Israel and Syria. I think we're going to have an event. It's a third-party event. So I will say, let's do, ready? Whoop. Future cast. I think there's going to be a third party that does something that will complicate this relationship. I think emotions will flare up. They're going to have to work it out, though. They're going to have to not react to it. Both of them, Syria and Israel, are going to think that the other one did this, but it's actually not them. It is not them. So the unknown, divine faith here. Divine faith. They have to reach into that back pocket and ask what is right. It's very biblical themes that are going on today on Fortune Cookie Tarot. Hi, Carnella. This is about talking to the divine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. This is asking our gods what is the best thing to do, meditating on that and leaving aside all of the terrestrial wants and not wants. So Stephanie just sent me the link for this video. When I watch it, we are the generation before the rapture, and Israel is a big indicator of that. So I'm very curious about that. Hopefully I will be able to get into acupuncture today and I had to move my appointment. So I don't know if Dr. Wang can get me in. Love Dr. Wang. He's awesome. If not, I'm going to have to put patches all over me when I get back and stim the snot out of myself. And Twisted Tiara said that was it one of my predictions? All right. So I hope it was my prediction. Yay. So hope that's a psychic score. I don't know if I can put up, I don't know if I can put up a psychic score, but perhaps. So half an hour, guys. Let's see what we got. Let me go back up. I think I got to all the questions. How is Cassie going to do after all of this cross-examination? How's she holding up? How's she holding up? I'm going to switch decks for her. I'm actually going to go over to the sweet deck. And I forgot how really pretty she is. If you go and you look up her photos, oh, she's so pretty. So how is she doing? How is she holding up? I see you, TT. Six of Swords. She's scared, guys. She's a little bit scared. She still has some doubts about doing this. There's our revelation. So, you know what her concern about this is? Oh, thank you, Stephanie. So Stephanie said the channel is Chelsea Bedell. Thank you so much. And she did a video on Israel and the rapture. I don't know. Hopefully I'm getting taken up. I don't know. I say it all the time. Like when I can't find my family, I'm like, was it the rapture? Did I miss it? Did I miss it? So for Cassie, there was no escaping this. There was no escaping the association and situation that she was in. Revelation was the only way to jump. Oh, thank you, Zephyr. Thank you. So jumping into this and revealing everything that went on. I mean, who better placed than the girlfriend of 9 years, 10 years, I think. And yeah, she was just a kid. She was 21, I think, 20 when she met him, 22 when she started dating, or 22 when at her first freak out, freak off, whatever it was. She knows that this is going to dog her for the rest of her days. She knows it's part of what she is, and she is not happy about it, which is so sad that she endured so much for so long. And she has this sweet little family, cute little husband, and that she feels that this taints the remainder of her existence. Let's do Yellow Brick Road for her. Let's do Yellow Brick Road for her. Do Yellow Brick Road. So little Yellow Brick Road. What does Cassie need to do to clear up this path for herself? What does she need to do? The Knight of Cups. You know, one of the things is that when you are in an A situation, ABUSED, you wind up coming out of that thinking that you have to be nice to everybody. She doesn't have to be nice to everybody. Cassie Ventura should not be nice to everybody. What she should do is really take that inventory and eliminate all the things that tie back to this. This is a hard ask. I mean, she did get a settlement from Diddy. Her return to celebrity, she does not want it. She doesn't want it. It doesn't make her happy. And she was not successful in it. And that doesn't mean that she wasn't a success. She was a model. She's a musician. You know, she's very, very beautiful. But the pathway that she went was not a successful pathway. She can abandon that. Does she need to work for the rest of her life? I don't know. Perhaps. Do we all? Ace of Pentacles. I don't know where her family lives, but planting a seed in another location is a great idea. Going to a place where she is less prominent is a good idea. Quiet, bucolic kind of village, town, something like that is going to be much better for her. I do think that I hear her children speaking a foreign language happily. Speaking a bit of a foreign language, not like a fluency, but speaking. Yeah, I agree, Stephanie. Yeah, I agree. Brendan Fraser was one of them. Didn't want to come back. So I think taking her out of the equation, it feels like failure, but it actually is acting on the situation, correcting the path of the situation. One last card for her. 10 of Wands. This is something that can wake her up at night. The entire circumstance can wake her up at night, and she does go back there sometimes in dream. How does she fix that? Reprogramming herself. I don't know what kind of spirituality she has, but doing like a Dr. Joe Dispenza, like kind of rewiring your brain, doing his unlimited or limitless, unlimited, supernatural. That's the name of his book. Following the dictates in his supernatural book, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I think is something that could heal her. I do feel that this trauma has already seeded in her body. I think she is going to have a dis-ease as a result of this trauma. It's somewhere in her chest. It is somewhere in her chest. So possibly like a breast thing. I don't think that's in the immediate, but a little bit down the road, I think she may have some issues. So she should be getting scanned as often as possible. I think this is, it's a tough yellow brick road for her. It's a tough one. It's a very rocky yellow brick road. She has to claw and fight her way back. So, Stephanie, I am glad that you brought up Brittany, because I've been getting a lot of requests to read on Brittany. So let's do it. Let's do it here. Let's do it here. How is Brittany? How is Britney Spears? Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles.
Eight of Bensons?
You better work, bitch.
This is the Eight of Bensons.
Eight of Bensons.
Benson, time to turn you into a dog.
Oh, thank you, master. There is a certain amount of magic around Brittany, isn't there? Isn't there? When you talk about like the it factor, Brittany is one, River Phoenix, he was another one. Just an amazing it factor. Leonardo DiCaprio, able to act and perform at such a young age, having that spark. It's very interesting. So my cousin Michael, is an amazing musician. He's not a professional musician, but he really is. And Michael, when he was about 4 years old, was picking out the sharps and flats on my cello, which is really difficult even after you've been studying it for some time. And he is an amazing, an amazing pianist and a very good at extemporizing on pieces. He also plays other instruments. He plays in a band, you know, when he's not at his day job now, but great guy. And he's actually Angus's godfather, him and his brother. His brother is an amazing musician as well, but a technical musician. So, and also in the National Guard, I might add. Great guy. So great family, great family. So, let's go back to Brittany. So Brittany is one of those, you know, they call them stars for a reason. And she is not made for Hollywood. She shouldn't be there. I do hold her parents somewhat responsible because I think that they trusted the professionals that they brought in. And I don't think that they brought in the correct kind of professionals. I think they brought in people that were very interested in, you know, churning and getting things out. You know, when she did her Las Vegas residency, when Brittany did her Las Vegas residency, I said the whole time, I go, she's propped up by prescriptions right now. She is being held up by prescriptions, and that is not a good look. And it's not a true performance that we're getting here. We're getting, you know, it's a puppeteering. And I think we all saw that when she did the what was it, Piece of Me at the MTV Music Awards or something. It was the live performance where she didn't dance, she just kind of moved, and she had the black outfit on, and they were like, the reviews were like, she's fat. What did she weigh? 110 pounds? Oh my God, she weighed 110 pounds. She wasn't fat. She just wasn't moving the way that she has. I think we are going to hear about her doing more work. I love that we've got this Knight of Cups up here. Now, some people would say this Knight of Cups is, you know, a good. I don't think that's what this is. I think the Knight of Cups is her actually starting to care about herself a little bit more. However, this guy is still in the equation. Who is this? This is the substance. This is being a grown up. Who just had a baby? Wait, who just had a baby?
Bob.
What? No. Did Britney Spears
What?
just have a baby?
I'm sure pregnant. She's been naked this whole time.
She has been. That can't
I've
be.
never seen that. She's been naked this whole time.
Amber Heard. Oh, wait. I gotta follow. Hey. Yes. Who's not going spiral? Well, you know, and that's the thing. You know, Kevin, I mean, he looks like a rat. Sorry. I mean, our boys are very cute, but you know, I do think that he was the one. Oh, Amber Heard. Amber Heard just had 2 babies. She just had twins. They're not hers. You know, they're probably her eggs. But Amber Heard just had twins. I wonder if they're Elon's too. What? I don't know if that first one is Elon's, but I think she had a boy and a girl this time.
Elon's kids aren't born. They're hatched, aren't
Well, so are hers.
They're hatched, aren't they?
Yeah, she just like showed up with a baby. All of a sudden, I got a baby.
Did she have to stick her ovipositor to Johnny Depp's mouth or something?
No, I don't think she's putting anything in Johnny Depp's mouth. So I think Brittany still. Let's not get crazy here. I think that she's got some habits still hanging on there, and I blame Kevin and that other guy that she was with for a while. Not a husband, and not the not the last guy. I don't even know if she's with that last guy, but I blame Kevin and the guy who was pretending to be her manager or house manager or something. I think that she's got some habits that she hasn't kicked. And that's really unfortunate because she does seem to tie substances into being an adult, making adult decisions. Thank you, Sam Lufty, Shifty Lufty. I think that Sam, because Sam later said, well, she was doing all this stuff. I think he had a part of that. Before that performance, Penny D, she had just had a baby. Yeah, she did. It was really not very nice what they said about her. Thank you. I was like, who just had a baby? So how does she see herself? Still judged very harshly. How do others see her? Not good. You know, I hopes and fears that she needs a little spiritualism there. Brittany, you want a reading? Give me a call. Give me a call, Brittany. I'll give you a reading. I will guide you. There is a cleaving of her soul, of the way that she feels. It's kind of split apart. Now, I've always said when I did readings about Brittany, there's Brittany the person, and then there's Brittany the machine. And I persnick, Brittany the machine was the performer that they fueled to get out on stage. So if that was to give her some kind of doctor prescribed treatment or whatever, that was how they fueled that machine. And then it was almost like they wanted to take her and just kind of put her up on a shelf and like put her away.
Put the doll back in the box.
Put the doll back in the box. And so Brittany the person was never really cared for. Brittany the person was put up on a shelf. Brittany the person was put in a box, put away, go lay down, go relax. But no, there was no investment in the person and the way that she should have been treated. Whereas I think Jamie Lynn got a lot more of that from her parents. And I think the brother was allowed to kind of do his own thing, but he was much more much more independent and set up to do that as long as there was money going into his bank account. So here I'm gonna fix this so you can see me like this, because I'm just doing psychic stuff now, guys. So Stephanie, I thought with Brittany, I think there's a few windows that she could have exited. So I do think when the 5150 stuff happened, I think there was a window of her exit. When the umbrella and the paparazzi thing happened, I think there was a window for her exit at that point through like additional substance abuse. What they wanted from Brittany in Taylor Swift, they wanted a Taylor Swift kind of product. But I think Taylor Swift's people were much more careful with her personally than Brittany was. That unfortunately Brittany got, and that's, I'm not slagging up her parents or anything. You only know what you know. And if they weren't in the music industry and they didn't know what kind of snakes were there and they weren't that smart, Taylor Swift's father was an investment banker or something, wasn't he? Fairly intelligent guy. I think he at least could follow the math on how things worked. Stephanie, during the conservatorship, he's a lawyer. Thank you. I knew he was something like that. During the conservatorship with Brittany, she was almost unreadable. And I do think it's because they had her so severely medicated during that. And I think that that was part of it. They wanted to keep the doll in the box. So, you know, it's really something else. You know, I'll have to do a bigger reading on her. In fact, I have a friend who has been doing astrology for like 25 years, but she claims she's an amateur astrologer. So I was thinking maybe I would have her sit down and do a chart with me. Maybe that's my weekend project. But before I check out, guys, I am on the fence. Tomorrow's Scandals and Royals. What? Oh, look into Taylor and her drinking. Really? Oh, okay. That's interesting. She's like singing "You Belong to Me" to all these drinks. I had a fail, a cocktail bar accoutrement fail. I made these whiskey soaked cherries, and I put a lot of vanilla in there, and I made this nice simple syrup that goes there. I think I have to make a better simple syrup. I think I'm going to make a brown sugar simple syrup and kind of doctor that up, Mr. Gregory.
Brown sugar.
But when cherry season starts, I'm going to make another batch of cherries for old fashions. They are specifically for old fashions. So, but tomorrow I have to record my Royals and Scandals, and I'm kind of at a loss. What would you guys like me to do? The 20, 21, or 19 of you that are in here, what would you guys like to see for Royals and Scandals tomorrow? I could do something on Andrew. I could do something on Edward. What would you like to see? Or do you want me to go outside of the British royal family? What would you like to see?
I would like to see if the Nigerian prince ever got the money he needed to become prince again.
Greg wants to hear about the Nigerian prince that keeps sending him emails. Yeah, I'm at a loss as to what I am going to do for tomorrow. And I don't know if I'll do Fergie. Might be fun. She's got a health crisis going on. She's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. That ex-boyfriend, John Bryant, is how the death of King Charles will affect the UK. Both good ones. I could do that as a bonus on the Fergie. Oh, Catherine and Meghan. What's Meghan holding over King Charles? Has King Charles made William promise not to act on M&H? All good questions. Some of these I can do in shorts too. The Princess Royal. I love Princess Anne. I love her. I think she is a very interesting character. What is she holding over H? These are great questions. All right, so I have some food for thought. So we'll stay with the British royal family. You guys want to hear more about the British royal family? Anything else that I can do for you? Twisted Tiara. Good girl. You did a great job. What else can I do for you guys? What else do you want to see on the channel? What else can I do to dazzle you? Stephanie, I think we are in a soft regency. I do think that King Charles is fielding over a lot of work to where H&M kicked out or really left on their own. Yeah. TT, go ahead. Do you want to tell me on here, or do you need to tell me privately? If you need to tell me privately, just send me an email. That'll be fine. Or you can WhatsApp me. You have my WhatsApp too, right? Remote views. Persnick wants the remote views. I think maybe I will for the summer. The doctor I said for the Baron's foot has arrived. What did I say? It was a young guy? I think I said it was a young Indian guy or something like that. Young, dark-skinned guy. That's awesome. Woohoo! So problem solved. We got a problem solver. I'm gonna give myself a psychic score. Hang on.
Wait, you guessed that a doctor would be Indian? No, I don't know about that.
Craig, that's not exactly what I said. Where's my psychic score? I can't find my psychic score. I might have deleted it. Why would I do that?
Oh, you did.
I think I did delete it. Shame on me.
That's silly.
Oh no, there it is. Well, TT, I am so glad that I saw that guy coming. And the Baron's doing amazing. That is wonderful. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad to hear all of that. That is some good news. Good news. So that was in a private reading, guys, that I did with TT. So saw a young Indian doctor, youngish, and he was going to be kind of outside of standard practice. And he has arrived on the scene, and he is helping out. Uh-oh, Lele 97 is here. You are more beautiful. That's what I needed to hear today. But unfortunately, I gotta jump. Aw, thank you, TT. Thank you. That is really nice. Well, if you'd like your own magical reading with me, you can hit the link down below. But I have to go to physical therapy right now, guys. I got to try and get myself back, get my back to where it needs to be. And I did see Bella Hadid has gone like super blonde, and it's given me hope. I'm thinking my hairdresser may get a call that I need to go even blonder. So I have an appointment with him a little bit later. Lele, stop asking me to put my sleeves up and down. I got tattoos all over the place. But it's good to have you in the chat. All right, kids, I am going to jump out of here. I am going to go get some physical therapy, and hopefully Dr. Wang will see me and throw some needles in my back. I will see you all in the future. Thank you to my members. Thank you to my mods. And everybody have a great day. Don't forget, there's the remote view group, remote view on Saturday. So if you guys want to come to that, limited seating, there's a link down below. Hit the link, come on in, and we will have some fun. All right. I will see you all in the future.